What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival 2025. This is episode number 32, and look at that ship right there. That's so cool to see. This is why I like the air traffic mod. Actually, I don't think it's called that anymore. I think they're called their individual faction names. So this would be like the Ember mod. But the modular encounters are so cool because you can just see stuff like this in your world, flying around, not necessarily attacking you, but just kind of flying above and going on its way, doing its own thing. You can imagine what it's, maybe it's cargoing something, or in this one, I guess it's going to a battle. I don't know, but anyways, we're here at the ice base, and this episode, we're gonna start out here because we need to actually go from here to go and mine some gold, and the gold is kind of like over there, basically, just a little bit past that little hill over there. So we're gonna need to mine gold to go back to the base with, because we need a lot of superconductors for our new ship that we were building. All the rail guns need superconductors, and we also need superconductors for those little refill stations that we have. But this is doing pretty well. This little rotary mining thing right here, how far are you extended? It's only extended 2.88, so a fourth of the way that it can extend, so you can imagine how far this would go once it's fully extended. Let's go ahead and check out this to see how we're doing on ice storage. We're doing fine. We're about halfway through our ice storage, which means we're probably not gonna... we really should set up an event controller to automatically turn this thing off and on. So turn it off when this is, 90% full, and turn it on when this is 10% full or something like that. I don't know. Something like that would be a good idea, because otherwise we're just gonna have this continuously mining while this is full, which would not be a good thing. What we could also do, though, to extend things here, is we could put another one of these here. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Another large cargo container, stick it right there on the side. And I think that would be a good idea to extend how much we can actually store here. So let me go ahead and middle mouse button this, see if we can grab all the stuff for that, and try and build another one. Now, it might take a couple trips. Let me see. Do we have stuff for this? It is getting... Let me see. What is in our build planner? Yeah, it is just that. So let me see if maybe we have this stuff inside the wildebeest here. I'm surprised we can't grab this with one inventory, to be honest. But there we go. There's another cargo container. So that's good. That means we can store a little bit more ice, which the whole point of this base is to store ice and to store hydrogen after all. So yeah, that's gonna be good. How are you doing? You're at almost 10% hydrogen storage, which is gonna be very good. What I could do as well, I wonder if I wanna remove this guy. Let's see, what do you have in you? You probably have a bunch of ice in you. Yeah, I might wanna remove that and move it to this location as well, so that we have another one of these here, because this is kind of where the O2 H2 generators are gonna be. Let's go ahead and put one right there, and we'll put another one right here. I think let's get 5 O2 H2 generators, and then we're gonna be pretty set with this stuff. So let's go ahead and right click that one, see if we have that stuff on the base, which we might. We have most of the stuff. We're just missing some large steel tubes and computers. So we'll see if we can find that stuff in here. We're missing the large steel tubes. So do we have them perhaps on the base? No. Okay, that's a problem, but maybe we can find large steel tubes in something else. Like, you do have large steel tubes. Do I want to remove you though? I don't know if I do. Oh no, okay, we did have it. I was just searching in here, which doesn't make sense because it's no longer connected, but we did have all the stuff. Our fuel's low. We need to keep track of that because we actually don't have any more hydrogen in here, but actually, come to think of it, that's probably not a problem because we can probably just stick these in there and fill those up just like that. Very nice. Okay, so now we have those. We have 5 of those, so I can remove the one that's up here. I don't necessarily need to have this one. But before we do that, what I want to do is go into control panel and tell it to automatic push pull off. And then let's go into here, go for a cargo container and try and stick all that in there. Okay, that makes life a whole lot easier. Let's also stick one of these on here temporarily, because if I remove this, this will fall. Or maybe it wouldn't because we had a block under it, but I just want to be a little bit careful with that. Our inventory is full, so let's put that there, and put that there. And so that's connected to that. So technically, we don't even need this one right here. Yeah, we don't need that because that wasn't really going anywhere. Oh, or was it? Oh, it was. Oh, shoot. Okay, never mind. Well, what we'll do then is this. Just go ahead and put that back right there. Right-click that, stick that right there. And then over here, this message is directed to the trespassing independent contractor vessel. You're not welcome in this territory. Turn back now or you'll be fired upon. How amusing. It's been a while. Or more empty threats. We're hoping you give us an excuse to let the guns off the chain. Clearly been a while. Okay, so that's happening over there. It looks like the Ember base is not liking that the independent contractors there are are going near them. Which, I don't know, maybe they'll fight. We'll see. They don't look like they're turning toward each other. This guy's just kind of like flying by. Okay, but anyway, this is actually past, oh no, it's almost at halfway. So this is going pretty well, and I like that we're getting the whole area here without, you know, these aren't getting stuck. So that means our speed is pretty good that we have set up. And this right here is probably nearing fullness. It is, it's very close to being full, and then we'll have a whole nother one to do. So I think this is the perfect number of these. So once we do that one, we're not gonna move it, we're just gonna let it sit there until these start running a little bit low, and then we'll shift it back. Okay, so what we wanna do is, oh man, I was saying we're gonna go get some gold. But the thing is, we do not have the mining ship with us. We didn't bring it. I could get an inventory full of gold, but I think I'd rather get a proper bit of gold. So you know what? Let's do a little bit of work on this base real quick to try and weld in some of these steel plate areas, and then we'll bring this ship back to the main base, and then we'll bring the mining ship over here, grab a little bit of gold, grab a little bit of ice, and then head back. Or maybe we'll bring the entire kangaroo so that we can do an entire load of ice. And if we're doing the kangaroo, I know the kangaroo is a little tricky to land. So what we probably want to do with that is build this up a little bit. So let me grab a bunch of steel plates so that we can work. And we should have plenty. Well, not a crazy amount of them, but yeah, not too bad. I think what I want to do is up here, I want to make the kangaroo a landing spot. So like right about here would be the kangaroo's little landing spot. And we're going to give it one of these just in case we want to like move conveyors around for this stuff. Steel plates? Nay. I would rather grab some interior plates. Okay, there we go. And then I don't remember exactly how long the kangaroo is, but this should be fine. And actually, let's undo that one right there. And instead, let's do a connector piece, the inset connector. I think that would work a little bit better. I love this inset connector block. This is one of my favorite things they've added to the game, having this inset connector. There we go. Can I get a couple more steel plates in here? We got a couple more, I think, but... Oh no, okay, we got enough. We just don't have the armor. All right. Well, that sucks that we're out of steel plates, but we could also remove some of this stuff because this is all heavy armor. So we could transfer this into light armor, and that wouldn't be the worst thing. Yeah, let me go ahead and remove some of these guys and replace them with light armor variants, and we'll just get a couple more steel plates on the base here so we can actually work with reasonable stuff. Oh no, there goes the siding. Well, no worries. I'll remove that anyway. Oh, lightning. Okay. It's actually been a long time since I've heard, you know, thunder in this game. Thunder. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. The rain is actually starting now. We've got fog in the area. And I'm getting a lot of steel plates from all these heavy armors because all these blocks right here are heavy armor, meaning they have loads and loads of steel plates on them, as well as interior, as well as metal grids. So the metal grids will be good for bringing back to base at some point, because we'll have way more than we need to use. All right, through all that, let's see how many steel plates I was able to accrue. So steel plates, 2,000, not bad. Plus an additional 500. We probably got a lot of, yeah, metal grids as well. 1,600, plus a couple more. Yeah, not bad. So I want to take a couple of those steel plates, and I basically just want to fill out this area a little bit. So we'll go 1, 2. This goes out 3. Let's go out 4, so that's covered a little bit. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And let's do something like this, just to kind of bring it in. And then I think I'm gonna go with kind of like a rafter design. All right, I think I like something like this. Let's get a couple of these welded up. So if you do it like that, and then have maybe a couple more out here, it'd be pretty good. And then we could do more, if we need more hydrogen tanks, we can do them out here. But I think that ends up looking pretty good. Something like that, then back to this one, and then does it just go that much? Yeah, and then it comes straight down like that. And I'm gonna dig a little bit just so I can put one of these underneath it, because I would like it to connect to the ground just in case. I like my supports connecting to the ground because if they connect to the ground, it'll remain a station if something gets blown up. Whereas if it doesn't connect to the ground, it might turn into a ship and then start, you know, it'll fall if something gets blown up. Okay, so this, I am gonna connect there with just a couple of weak blocks. I think that's fine. And let's go out probably 1, 2, 3, and then do another one. Now for this one, I don't actually have to dig. I can just do something like this and then place it like, oh, maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Place it like that. There we go. And then I can remove these guys because I don't need them. So we'll put that one in right there, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side here. So flip that upside down, then flip this one, and turn it around. Flip, one more right here, and then we can go straight down and do the same thing we did on the other side. So bring this over this way. And it's very nice because the ice lake is actually rather flat. You'll notice that the height of this right here is very similar to the height of that over there. So there's not much variation going on with the ice lake there. And maybe I keep it like this. Maybe I go out one more on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. And then 1, 2, 3 right there. All right, and with that, we end up with a little bit of a landing pad right here. And I'm quite happy with that. And what I'll do as well is I'll bring this to go and connect with that. So I'm not too afraid about, what I'm worried about, if I continue doing these rafters, I'm worried about going into the zone where this can reach. So I'm not gonna do any more rafters closer to the base. I'm calling them rafters. I don't think they're just arches. I don't know, supports, whatever you'd call them. Supports for where the ship would land. But yeah, this way we can bring the kangaroo into land and we can land it right here. Now, I don't know that the kangaroo has the clearance that it can land directly facing this like that. So it might actually have to land sideways, but either way, I think it'll be okay. And what I'll do as well is, just because I think this will look cool, is I'll do something like that. Because that'll look kind of neat. Very nice. And with that, I think we might be good for this little area. I'll weld up as much as I can. I don't know how much I'll get through because we only had 2,000 steel plates on that base there. But I'll try to get as much as I can here. So let's see. We'll get as much as we can. Then we'll bring a load, I think, of ice back to the main base. And then we'll bring back the mining ship. You know, we might actually be able to get all this welded up. I'm just going here, and it looks like we're able to get at least one side welded up with a full inventory, and a full inventory is only 200 or so steel plates out of the 2,000 we had, so we might actually be able to get most of this done here. All right, that's most of that stuff. We'll get the little rafters here done. These, I guess, would be rafters, right? These beams. They're at least closer to rafters than what I was calling rafters earlier. But there we go. There's one side of the beams done. And here goes the other side. And there will be the other side done as well. Very good. So now we have this, at least this nice little landing pad that makes it really easy to land on. And we can even land that ship on here too, because it's got a bottom landing as well. What I will do as well, let me see if I can find my signs. I think there might be some signs that are like explosive. Let's see, do we have explosive signs? Explosive danger. Yeah, okay, we do have explosive signs. So let me see how many, oh, I can put up a bunch of these. Okay, well, I'm gonna put one up definitely on the middle. Actually, I might put one up on each of these. Explosive danger, because I like that. Explosive danger, and put one up on the other side as well. Just like that. Oops, that's upside down. They installed that one incorrectly. We'll put one up right there, and then we'll put one up right there. I bet you some more of these are upside down as well, because I probably really wasn't paying attention to how I was placing them. Oh, that one's right side up, good. Okay. Explosive danger, and explosive danger. Perfect, so we have that now, and what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and paint just this bottom one right here, this color. I could do that as well. There we go. And so that kind of gives you this nice, like, big warning, like, watch out, there's explosive stuff coming softly here. Don't just land on this thing. You might blow up that hydrogen tank. Oh, and off camera, by the way, I did this for the thumbnail. I basically oh man, we got down to stone. Oh shoot, okay, well, maybe I should add a little refinery here to refine some of that stone. But I added all this stuff right here. I painted it a little bit just for the thumbnail so it looked a little good. And we're keeping that because it looks pretty nice. Okay, so those are probably all the way at their max. So this is full, and this guy is full too, which means you guys are pretty much at your max here. And yeah, you are at your max. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and stop it, because there's no need to just like continue mining right there. And whenever those are kind of processed, or maybe the kangaroo steals some of it, we can actually bring this up and transfer it. And remember, it's just a click of a button. It'll go bzz, 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 and go down. So we don't have to worry too much about that. I'm gonna go ahead and paint a little bit of this to be kind of a danger color as well, just so that we know that as we're coming in for landing, watch out. Again, It's risky job there. I think what I might do as well, let me see if it's easy to do this. Well, I kind of want to move that engine right there, but I don't know where I want to move it to. Let's do it like this. Let's do 2 engines right here. I'm only going to build up one of them for now, but we'll have the infrastructure for both of them. So engine.
Fuel low.
Our fuel's, oh man, our fuel actually is low. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll put some of this stuff in here. Refill our fuel. It's very easy at this base to refill fuel, which is one thing I kind of like. Okay, so we'll do an engine right there, and I might actually have that in the wrong spot. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll do the engines like that. So let me go ahead and try and build up one of them. And then let's remove this guy. Just gonna take a couple trips because these are quite heavy. But we only really want this one engine here. Hopefully when I remove that, nothing falls. Yeah, okay, good. So we'll have the one engine. And then maybe I'll keep it on for now because we do need to use a little bit of our hydrogen. So then what I was thinking for this is that we do something like this. So let's move this the right way. There we go. And then we'd have, I guess another one of these. If I can find some steel plates anywhere. Yep, perfect. We'd have another one of those. Maybe coming up like this. Ooh, all components successfully withdrawn. Very nice. I'm gonna put up a nice little catwalk up here that I think is gonna look pretty good. And it's only gonna go to about there. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll keep that there for now. But what I'll do as well is let's do these block. Let's actually, ooh, I have a better idea. Let's do these blocks right here. We're gonna go with the ones that have the floor on the bottom. So the little scaffolding ones. And can I do like the X? I think the X might look better. Maybe not. We'll do it like this. How many girders was I able to get? 24 girders. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm definitely not gonna be able to get all of these, but I'll be able to get most of them. Probably be able to get that one more with this right here. But unfortunately, we don't have any more girders, unless we have girders on this base somewhere. Girder. Oh, we do. Nice. Perfect. That's exactly how many we... I mean, that's more than we needed, but that's what we needed. Put those right there. Why is this not even? Hang on. Hang on just a second. It's not even. No. All right, I can't stand for this, so we're gonna go ahead and make this thing even. Here, we'll do a little video edit. Making this even is as simple as snapping your fingers in 3, 2, 1, snap. Boom, look at that. It's very easy with the power of editing to do pretty much anything you want to do with just the snap of your fingers. And there we go. We now have our base kind of, you know, built out and stuff like that. We've got lights on it as well that I've added just to make it look a little bit nice. They're very orange, kind of orange glowy lights, but I think it looks pretty good. And I think we're gonna call this base done for now. What I'll do here real quick is I'm gonna land the wildebeest on top of here. So let's do that. We'll refill its hydrogen and we'll grab as much ice as we possibly can carry, bring that on our way home. So let's see if I can get the connection here. I don't know exactly where our connector thing is. Apparently I'm just kind of hoping the best. Maybe I should actually take a look at what we're dealing with. Our connector's right about there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let's press number 7. It's gonna start refilling our hydrogen there. And then while it's doing that, I wanna go in here, go to our welder cargo. And I think actually we have another cargo container. Yeah, I need to name this welder cargo as well, just so it shows up when I search that. So welder cargo. And we have already obtained a lot of stone, which is fine. Oh no, actually we filled up our stuff with stone. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I'd rather have filled it up with ice. Can I build a refinery? Is that possible? I would love to build a little refinery to process some of this stuff for us. Okay, I'm gonna build up a little refinery here, a little basic refinery so that it can start processing some of this stone for us. And it should go through it. I mean, it's not gonna go through it super quickly, but it'll refine some of this stuff for us. I wish I could build a full refinery, but I don't know that we have even the space for that. That would have to go, I mean, I could throw it, actually, maybe we do have the space. I could throw it up here. Let me see. Refinery, because that would actually go through the stone pretty quickly if I did a full refinery. Kind of right there. Let's see, right click that, and let's see if we can grab as much stuff as we possibly can for this. And if we can build this up, that will make life a whole lot easier. We need 800 steel plates, 9 large steel tubes, which I don't know. Oh, maybe actually, oh, we got all the large steel tubes. All we need is the steel plates. Now, the steel plates, I can potentially get from, where can I get the steel plates from? Because we don't have any steel plates on the base. Yeah, actually, this would be a good idea. If we could build it like that, then we could have that connect into the main base. So let's do it like that instead, if we can. The only thing we're missing are steel plates, which we might be able to harvest from somewhere. Let's see, I mean, we have steel plates here. I can, of course, take a couple plates from them. But maybe what I can also do is, if I go in here and mine a little bit lower, it's possible that I find some steel plates that are... Yeah, okay, so there's some more base here that is made of heavy armor that I can steal some steel plates from. Like right there, I've got a bunch of steel plates going in. Yeah, okay, we'll be able to make this with just harvesting these couple steel plates that we're finding. So this stuff down here, yeah, there's a bunch of them. I think the first load I get is mostly metal grids, but the second load I get has a bunch of steel plates in it. So there we go, there's 900 of them. And in fact, the remaining bits we can probably get from here, but I'll keep doing it like that because I don't want to have to deal with moving a bunch of stuff between the machines. There we go. Okay, so there's our industrial refinery. Perfect. And that's gonna now start to get to work on some of that stone, which is gonna be very good. So here we go. Yeah, you'll see it's starting to work on that stone, and it's gonna get through it pretty darn quickly, which is good because that means we can not only grab ingots from this base, but we can also grab, of course, ice, which is the main thing this base is used for. How many computers do we have? 17. Oh, we have a lot of computers in the welder cargo. We probably have enough computers for an assembler, like a proper assembler in that case. We're still working on stone. I'm gonna let these guys work on stone until we pretty much run out of stone, because currently they're doing some hard work here. We're getting a lot of iron ingots, which is good. But how much stone do we have on base? I think probably more than we can. Yeah, 123k stone. We have too much stone on this base. I would love to get a speed module on here. Actually, I don't know if I'll be even able to build this. It requires a couple steel plates. Well, if it's only requiring steel plates, that's easy. I can just go down here and grab a couple more. There we go. So there's a speed module in there. Can I build a couple more? The only problem is that that's going to require a lot of power usage, which, you know, once we start getting too much power usage, then we start worrying a little bit. Let's see, how are we able to do on this? So most of it's done. It's really just going to be those steel plates that we're missing. And of course, we can just go and grab them down here. Isn't that funny? It's kind of like we're mining through the ice to find steel plates. We're mining for steel plates. Okay, there we go. There's another speed module. Then finally, I mean, you guessed it, we're gonna throw another speed module right here. I would love to throw the yield modules there, but we don't have superconductors, right? So we kind of have to do the yield modules, the speed modules. Go ahead and right-click that guy, throw that in here, and then see if we're able to grab everything for this final speed module. Everything except for the computers, which is fine. This is probably blazing through those stones pretty darn quickly. Yeah, it is blazing through it pretty quickly. I'm a little worried about the batteries, though, in that case. I don't remember how many we have on this base. Probably not too many. Oh, okay, this isn't that bad, though. Fully depleted in 2 days. That should be fine. And then whenever this stops working, it'll regain battery power from just the engine here. And I can always add another engine if I need to. In fact, how are you doing? 48%, so you're still going up pretty significantly. In fact, to the point that I think I'm just gonna do something like this. Throw another engine in here. Right-click that. See if we can build that up. I don't know that we can because we're missing the steel plates, power cells, computers. But at least for the steel plates, I'll just go grab a little bit more from here. And then all we'll need to do is come back with some power cells and computers. And we'll be good to build that final one up. And with 2 of these, I think that might be able to support the refinery. How are our drills doing? Okay, this is good. This is a good sign. Our drills are finally empty. So that's good. Because before they were still packed. But now we might actually start to finally get some space. Yeah, the refinery is getting some space. The drills will hide empty here. The inset connector. Yeah, the industrial refinery is getting some space, so I was able to throw some of the stuff from our welder cargo into there. This is not getting any space, but that's okay. You kind of want to put an assembler in here. It would go really well right here, specifically. Yeah, an assembler right there would be really nice. Let me see, what sort of thing can I get for this? It's gonna be most of the computers that we're missing. What I could do is I could remove all these just for the computers so that I can build this guy up. The problem is I don't think we'll find the displays for that. Those will be a little tricky. Yeah, so that's at least all the computers, but we still need all the displays. I don't suppose there's any way I can find 8 displays. You have 5 displays, so I could remove you for your displays. And you guys have 1, 6, 7. You have any? No. You know what I could do? Let me fly on over to that big base deconstruct over there, because it's not that far. Let me see if we have any displays over there that I could steal. Because it might actually have stuff on it. I don't remember what we left here and what we took. Okay, so we didn't mostly deconstruct it, but we might have some stuff on it as well. 12K, what about in the container? Nothing. Oxygen tank. Okay, so there's actually not much here. Well, I mean, now, I guess I might as well go, oh, that's fuel low. Uh-oh. All right, well, we're hiking back to this, I guess. We're completely out of fuel. All right, well, I'll see you guys in a bit once I'm over there. This is why you have to monitor your fuel before you take off on long expeditions. Otherwise, you find yourself stranded in a random... I was gonna say forest, but there's not that many trees. It's kind of like a prairie. I don't know. Is this a prairie? Is this what a prairie is? I think I only know the word prairie from Little House on a Prairie. And here I could at least imagine like a little house being on here, like a prairie. I don't know. I guess we're in a valley. As I walk through the valley of the shadow. All right, here we are. Can I access that? Yes. Now, can I access this? Also, yes. Thank you very much. Give that a second to refill us. I think it has. Perfect. I don't suppose you have displays, do you? And you guys don't either? No, you don't. Okay. Well, back over there, we're going to the small base deconstruct, which is where we have a lookout tower. Where is this exactly? When did we take this out? I don't remember taking this out, but I guess we did. Anyway, I bet you it's got some displays for us. That guy doesn't have displays, unfortunately, but we'll find some, I'm sure. You have display? You do have 4 displays. Thank you very much. And you probably have displays too. Yeah, you have 4 as well, which is exactly how many we needed. Do you guys have anything in your cargo containers by any chance? No, just a little bit of ice. The cargo containers themselves have displays though. Or go ahead and remove that. And you don't have displays. Okay, I guess I'll just go back with the 8 displays because that's really all we need. 8 displays are going to allow us to build up the assembler, and the assembler is going to allow us to build up any more computers that we need, which is perfect. So here we go. Oh, I like the look of this little base here now. This is cool. And I was saying last episode, I'd love to build a car version of this that we can just kind of plop on ore deposits and let it do its thing. But let's go ahead and put this back. Let's make a bunch of computers. We should be able to with all the stuff that we've gotten from the stone. So where are our computers? At this point, we've basically made this into a mini base, which is fine, right? We weren't planning on doing that, but if we're getting stone by accident, just by mining too low, we might as well use that stone, use that silicon to make computers, or basically whatever else we need, be it steel plates or what. I think I'll go ahead and put some speed modules on you as well. Looks like steel plates is a significant thing that we need, so let's go under here, see if we have any more of those blocks. I don't know that we do. We might have reached the bottom. Yeah, I think we reached the bottom. Do we have a... Ooh, we do have one more heavy thing right there, though. I think that's the last one. All right, there's a speed module. All we're missing is the computers. Let's go ahead and see if we've got them. There's one, so we can now make that, and then we just need a couple more for this one right here, and that should be that one. Nice. So in addition to those computers, we'll make a couple steel plates because I know we're going to need them. It's going to use all the iron ingots that we have. It's another speed module and another speed module for the refinery. Another speed module for the refinery. And finally, it should be just one more speed module for the refinery and I'll be happy. All right, should be everything for the last speed module. There we go. Okay, full speed modules on this refinery and 2 speed modules on this assembler. Very nice. Okay, so we can assemble anything we want, and this is also going to process this stone at a very, very quick rate, which is good for us, so we can put all of our things from the welder cargo into the assembler, into the refinery rather, and maybe even into other things. So let's maybe look for cargo here. Do we have any room in these cargo containers? We have a little bit. Maybe stick some of that stuff in there. I would love to just offload all this. With that, our welder is completely empty of stone, which is good because I want to grab ice and throw that inside our cargo. So all the ice that we can possibly carry, we're just going to take, and we should be able to carry it just fine. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can. Let's go ahead and disconnect and see how we do. Oh, easy. Okay. Well, let's make sure we fly to the right over here, and we're going to head back to our main base. And of course, we're going to come back with our mining ships so that we can mine a little bit of that gold that's over in the gold thing. The gold is kind of a pain to mine with the hand drill. It's a pain to mine with anything, but it's a little bit easier with the ship. So we'll be doing it that way instead of with the hand drill and bringing it via the wildebeest. All right, wildebeest, you actually did pretty well. I think with that, we made a very nice base over at the ice area that I can be proud of. Able to mine all that stone and all that ice pretty autonomously. I mean, it does require human input a little bit. You have to go over to it and hit the button to start mining a little bit more. But you will be going over to it anyway whenever you need to collect that ice, because we don't have an autonomous way to do that yet. And I don't think we're going to make an autonomous way, considering in episode 35, we're going to be flying off into space. And who knows when we'll be back here. So I think that's a good thing. I think the base is going to be pretty happy with a little bit of ice, a nice ice delivery. Okay, let's come in for landing here. The wildebeest usually parks around the back as well, so I'll just keep that in mind as we maneuver around over there. And there's the manta ray sitting very nicely on top of the base, as well as the kangaroo just out of sight right there. That yellow and black ship under us. We have our two large ships. This is a new thing for me, basically. Usually in the past series, the last one, and in the series before that, we had one large ship, and that was the project ship of the series, which was the AMG Sandstorm. I almost said the Darude Sandstorm. The AMG Sandstorm, and then later the AMG Snowstorm once it was renovated to fit modern standards, I guess. Modern code. But in this series, we do have two smaller large ships, which is cool. I think that's the better way to do things, probably. Okay, there we go. There's our connection. We'll press number 7 right there. And then our ice should automatically be pulled by everything else, by all that stuff. Oh, it's nice to be back at the base. Look at this. I love these towers. These towers look really good with the blue lighting and with all that stuff. That's very nice. Off camera, I didn't do the stuff that I said I would do, by the way. I said I would probably go through and weld up this stuff right here off camera, but I didn't do pretty much anything between last episode and this episode, except for the stuff that I did back at the ice base for the thumbnail. So that's all that we did, and I still need to do this probably again off camera. We'll handle that if we find the time. It's been a very busy week. I had contractors all over my house. I had a leak in the roof, and it's actually, I don't think maybe I'll put it in this video, but whew, it was raining from my roof basically, and it was a sad time, but it does happen. Unfortunately, it does happen. That's one of the things. What are you guys doing? Are you guys collecting stuff from the armadillo? I think they are. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I was praying for rain. This is the funny thing. I was kind of praying for rain in a non-literal sense, because my plants, I've got plants outside, they needed water, and I didn't want to water them because I'm a lazy person. But when it finally did rain, of course, I discovered that I have a leak in the roof, and all the stuff in that room were wet. Luckily, that's a guest room. It's not a room that I typically use. So it's a room that I could very easily seal off. You know, I started lifting up some of the floorboards. There was water under the floor. On the day that it was basically raining sideways, when I discovered that this leak was a big problem, I actually had water coming from the ceiling and also coming under the walls, which is obviously not where water's supposed to come from. It's a bad place to notice water. Let's go ahead and connect that, turn those off, and recharge this. So I had the roof guys come out, and I had the contractors come out, mold inspectors, you know, the whole entourage, and they did the work. They're still doing the work, not right now, but I had these loud fans basically going in that room. Last episode I recorded while that was happening as well, so maybe you heard some extremely loud fans going. I don't know. I had 2 doors closed between those fans though, but they had this like industrial air scrubber, and they had like an industrial dehumidifier, which was good. But all that to say, if any of you have a leak in the house or notice a leak in the house, I feel for you. It's a painful thing, and it sucks. It's expensive. It's water. You know, water should stay outside and in my cup. Those are the 2 places water should be, and in my shower or bath. Water should not be coming from the ceiling, obviously. But anyway, that's why it's been busy the last week or so. There's lots going on. But we're back. We're back here, and we're bringing this ship. Actually, you know what? I bet you they're gonna fire at me because I'm a little bit close to them. Oh, dodge, dodge, dodge. That's gonna hit us. Okay, well, you know what? If you're gonna hit us, guess who's gonna turn around and hit you? Yeah, this guy. Give me a second to actually slow down, because guess what we have on the bottom right there? Missiles. Okay, so we should be able to hit them in a decent range where they can't hit us. So let's go to 1 point something. Like here's probably fine, honestly. And let's go ahead and look through our camera, which is here. Let's go ahead and lock onto that. Okay, so there's our lock. Okay, well, I guess that can also fire from here if we're locked on. Very cool. We do have target locked via turret, but I don't want to do turret. I want to switch mode over to camera. Let's go ahead and get in our camera, and that should do the lock. No target. Still? Really? Well, I have that firing, so that's fine. Oh, wait, I have to do lock switch. Okay, lock switch. Boom. I forgot I had to do that as well. Okay, target is locked. So let's fire then. 3, 2, 1, fire away. Missile is away. Let's give it a second. There it goes. You can see it kind of on the bottom of the screen. I'll zoom in so that we see it. Oh, it's gonna fire. You know what? I'm gonna fire another one then while that one's going. That one did hit its target. The other one is also away though. So we can see right there that it's going. And there we go. Target hit. So we still have 3 weapons because unfortunately those missiles. I don't know. So, okay, do the missiles go where I'm aiming with the camera? I don't think they're wire guided, right? I think it's just they're going for the grid, like the center of the grid. But if they could go for where I aim, like if I could go directly for that turret or that turret or that turret, that would be nice. Maybe if I do like lock switch, would that do it? So like I lock switch on that, maybe it, no, still not. Let's see, lock switch, it's target locked. Huh, okay, so I think it's just going for the grid. I know there's a way to do wire-guided missiles in this, but I don't know how it's done. But anyway, I don't think we have the materials to build another one of those, which is fine, because I don't necessarily need to. Okay, let's head back on over this way, and we're gonna go land at that base, if we can. I feel a little vindicated there. They did fire at us first. I wasn't really doing anything. I was clearly going past with no ill intent, and they just fired at us. So guess what? We turn around and fire our missiles right back at them. Okay, let's go land at our little ice base, which looks a little ridiculous with that big mining arm, but for a ridiculous amount of ice, you need a ridiculous looking base. That's what I always say. Okay, so most likely we're gonna have to land like this, and I'm fine with that. It's still gonna be a little tight there. I mean, I could turn around. The problem is, oh no, it should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. That does have enough clearance, so let's go ahead and go sideways here. I'm in for landing at that little landing spot. We'll turn and go sideways again. Come on, you're almost there. You're basically there. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and lock that with number 9. Perfect. Oh, okay. It's found some of the materials that it needed to build another set of missiles. Very good. That's not, nope. I need you to stop doing that. You, please turn off your stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's good to know that that this thing will try to remove all the stone from the base. Just gonna put the stone back in here because the stone is being processed, so it's not like it's being wasted. It's going to a good use. So we'll throw that back in there. Perfect. All right, is the sun already going down? I guess the sun was a little higher in the sky than it usually is when we start, because we're in this valley, so we didn't start until it was like morning in here and we could actually see. But yeah, okay. So what we want to do now is probably go and grab. I'm very glad I put these lights in then, if that's the case. We probably want to go and grab some gold, and we're only going to bring back 1 full truckload, basically 1 full one of these of gold, but we're going to bring back a bunch of ice as well. So let's go ahead and disconnect this. So this one I have to actually manually hit all the buttons. So 6, 8, and 9. Let's turn on our stone ejectors. We will turn them on once we start mining, I guess. Okay, and let's start heading over this way. Not 100% sure where the gold is, but I know it's basically over here. It's like right above this little area. I think I can go K and go in here, and we probably have an AU marker. Yep, perfect. All right, let's turn on our ejectors just to eject any extra stone that we might have with us. And let's go for some of this gold. Man, yeah, it picked a perfect time to get dark, didn't it? I would have been fine with it getting dark as we're going back to the main base, because that's easy. But really, it had to be while we're about to go mining. Okay, where's our hole? Right here? Okay. All right, let's get in there. Let's start getting a little bit of this gold. It should be all the gold we need for the foreseeable future, basically. I don't think we're going to be getting any more gold, in at least on this planet. Or, I mean, at least until we go to space, right? We might need some later. But all the gold we need is basically for superconductors, and if we want to build any more yield modules or refill stations. So the superconductors would be for the railgun, which would be very useful. All right, we're gonna grab a full load of gold here, and just one full load of gold should supply us for a long time. I don't even think we got a full load of gold last time we were here. We just got like half a load, and then we got a bunch of silicon as well. One thing about gold that separates it from the other materials is that it takes a very long time to mine. I'm only just getting in the red zone of this ship, and it's been probably 6 minutes of mining, whereas I could have gotten 3 full loads of iron, for instance, in the same amount of time. So it does take quite a long time to mine gold, and I think I might be good with something around here. I could push for a little more. The ship can definitely handle it. Maybe something like this is probably fine. Okay, let's start heading back. I mean, we're still exhausting some stone while we go, but we're very heavy at this point. We're scraping along the sides here as we try and get ourselves out of here. Let's push ourselves up this if we can. We should be fine, yeah. Okay, so we how much stone do we have to exhaust? Hang on. Let me look. Okay, not that much stone. It's just getting through the last bits of stone there. Okay, there we go. All the stone is gone. So this is the amount of gold that we got in probably 6 or 7 minutes of mining. And it's not bad. It's a lot more stone than we got the first time. And that amount of stone did last us for quite a while. So I'm not saying that this is a bad amount of stone. I think this is a fine amount of stone for us. So let's go ahead and head back over there. I really like the lights that we have set up over there because you can actually kind of see the base in the distance there. In fact, that little screenshot right there. I think that's a cool view. Okay, let's head back here. We're gonna land in the Kangaroo and keep this stuff on the Kangaroo. We might have to, maybe we don't land it on the Kangaroo quite yet because I don't want the refinery to try and grab this stuff because we have yield modules back home and a lot more refineries. So I would rather process this stuff at home instead of on the subpar refinery system here. So let's go ahead and come in for, I think we're just gonna land this next to the base for now. And once we take off in the Kangaroo, we'll land this the rest of the way. Here we go, coming in for landing here. Try and do a soft landing so we don't hit too hard. And we should be good. All right, just gotta turn off the dampeners there so it doesn't use any power. Perfect. And then on the Kangaroo, we don't have to do too much here. All we need to do is grab ice. But before we do, I wanna see, actually. Yeah, so you weren't able to build up the missiles. I can still launch them. Well, no, you weren't able to build the power cells either. Never mind, I can't launch them. But I want to see how you're doing with your stone that in there, because that's going to take half a second. How much other stone do you have on this base? Let's do stone, hide empty. I'll throw that in there so that gets processed. And then actually, I want the basic refinery to not automatically push pull. Basically, I want the basic refinery to do nothing because the basic refinery does not process stone at the same efficiency as the normal refinery. So I'd rather the normal refinery do all that. And then I want to see how much stone we have here. Okay, we still have a metric load of stone here in this industrial cargo container too. So it's going to take a long time to get through all this stone, but we're getting there. We're doing it slowly but surely. We're gonna get through this stone. But that's not a problem we have to handle. That's something that the base will do automatically if we just leave it. So we're gonna leave it to its own devices. Let it do that. Let's head inside here and let's go and grab some ice. So first we're gonna say only inventories from here. We're gonna go to our cargo And then over here, we're gonna go look for ice. But I want to do this, yeah. So we're gonna yoink all that ice. We're gonna yoink all this ice. And we're gonna yoink all this ice. And we're gonna yoink all this ice. And all this ice. There we go. We're not gonna steal all of its ice, but we're gonna steal a good chunk of it. So we have a lot of ice on this ship, which hopefully the ship can actually support. I don't know if it can. Let's see. It barely can. It was going up there for a second. I mean, it barely can until... Ooh, yeah, even with the... Oh, no. Even with the... Ooh, yeah, it barely can support that. Wow. Okay, let's let it sit there for a second. I need to add the other ship to it, which is going to increase the weight. But, and in fact, maybe I'll keep the other ship's thrusters on too, so it helps out a little bit. Even though it won't help out that much, but... Technically, the other ship can support all the stuff that it's carrying, so if it helps out even a tiny bit with its thrusters, it will be supporting the weight that it contributes. So let's go ahead and land this guy here. 9. I'll try turning off our thrusters. Just in case this ship can handle it. Maybe it can. We'll see. What's happening? Oh, we're okay. It barely can handle it. Yeah, it's sinking a tiny bit. All right. Well, if that's going to be the case, if that's how you're going to be, then what I'll do is I'll turn on your thrusters, and it's probably going to be fine. The only problem there is that we're probably going to end up completely destroying whatever's under here, but it's whatever. So now we can take off. Oh, this is going to be a risky flight. This is going to be a really risky flight. But hey, we're able to fly. That's a good sign. All right, let's start heading back to the base. We're going to stay as close as we possibly can to this side of the mountain here. How fast are we? Okay, we are picking up speed, which is good. We're gonna stay as close as we possibly can to this side of the mountain here, and let's hopefully. Oh, I really want to gain some height here. Let's aim up a little bit so we can gain a little bit more height. Yeah, we're playing a dangerous game going this fast against basically what's in front of us. We could. Oh, might crash into that tree. Okay, we're fine. All right, but as long as we stay on this side of the mountain here, very close to it, we shouldn't run into that base that's over there, which is probably our biggest threat. And when I want to slow down, all I have to do is aim up a little bit higher, and we'll start slowing down. Or maybe not. I don't even know where that base is anymore, because I think I destroyed the antenna, which is possibly a problem. Huh. Okay, I think we got past that base without having. Oh, it's over there. Okay. Well, no worries. All right, let's head over to our own base. Going down is going to be a risky business, but if we do it slowly, we should be fine. Let's keep heading over here. We see our beautiful blue little wind towers over there, just past the manta ray. We see our landing zone there on the right as well, which is what we're going to try to go towards. We got to be very careful here because again, the heavier ships are, the harder it is to slow down when you're descending. And so we want to be very careful as we go down. We're actually losing a lot of altitude. I think that's because we're going toward a mountain, and the mountain is basically counting as us losing altitude, even though we're not really. But we're getting closer to the base, which is good. I really should have put some parachutes on this thing, just in case. But it should be fine. We're not too high up. We just have to go down a little bit. Now, what I'm worried about is if we descend too hard, we won't be able to recover. So we need to get ourselves in position and then slowly start descending. Well, let's go ahead and do that. So we're making the maneuver here to get in position. And I always want to make sure that my nose is facing up, because if it's not, we'll start going down too fast again, too rapidly. Okay. So we're looking good. Move forward a little bit. Gotta get in position over here as well. And then we're just gonna tap down. Let's see. Okay, we should be good here. We tapped it. Let's tap it one more time, and maybe that was enough. You really don't want to hit down too much. See, I haven't even pressed it again. We've pressed it that one or those 2 times, and we're already coming down pretty hot. In fact, we're coming down very hot. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on! Don't crash into it. Ah! Yeah, you see what I mean? It's very tricky. It's very tricky to go down when your ship is very heavy. And that's one of the things that I think new players and space engineers learn with destruction. Definitely me, every time, yeah, we're crashing into, we're basically destroying everything under our base. That's fine, it's okay. We'll just have to repair it. Okay, there we go. Number 9, boom. Yeah, so basically every time, I've told this story before. I've said this before in an episode, but every time when I would make a new mining ship, I would crash it when I was new to playing Space Engineers. Good lord, that's a lot of damage. I would crash the mining ship because when you go down, you don't think you're going down too fast, but when you're heavy, you can't recover. You just can't recover when you go a certain speed. So yeah, I would always end up crashing my ship just by going down too hard. I'd plummet into the ground. So that's one thing you gotta learn in SE. Let's go ahead and remove this. This I don't think is connected anymore because we probably broke something somewhere. Maybe not. Hang on. Can I not grab some steel plates? We don't have steel plates on the base? Oh no, we don't have steel plates on the base. Ah, I see the problem. Well, so the ores are starting to pull the gold. That's good. But what I want to do is let's hop inside the armadillo and let's go get some iron because we're a little bit low on iron. So let's go ahead and unlock this. Let's turn on our batteries if we can. Perfect. And let's go get a little bit of iron over here. All right, here is where our beautiful iron is. So let's go ahead and grab a little bit of this. I'm gonna right click mine until I get to my iron. And this right here, you'll see the iron is a lot easier to fill up a thing with. And I just absolutely shredded something on the side of my ship. I don't know what it was. Hopefully it wasn't, oh, it was a battery. That's probably fine. We have plenty of extras. We'll repair that when we get back to base. All right, let's continue getting some iron. And I'll be right back once we have all this iron in our ship, well, a full ship of iron. So by comparison with the gold, it's been only about a minute of mining here, and you can see that we're already almost halfway full with our iron. So iron is a lot easier to get than gold is. Gold takes a long time. Most of it that you get is stone, so it's always depositing a bunch of stone. This iron, pretty much the iron when you get it is pure iron, unless you have stone around it, which in this case it's a vein of iron instead of a big plop of iron. I think if you were in like an asteroid, you'd find a big plop of iron instead of a vein like this, but veins are good. I like veins of iron. Okay, we're almost we're about 60% full here, so let's keep getting a little bit of this good stuff here. The lifeblood of space engineers. Building bases, you will never have too much iron. I mean, you know what they say, take the amount of iron you think you'll need for a project and double it, and that'll get you closer to what the amount of iron that you'll actually need. So if you're like, oh, this is gonna require 1 million iron, well, probably it'll require 2 million. Okay, here we go. We are getting to the point where our ship is a little heavy. Having a hard time turning here. There we go. We gotta keep ourselves level though once we get to this area here. And I think we should be good about here. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and get ourselves out of this hole if we can. We gotta be a little careful though, because we don't want to break anything else now that we have a broken battery. The broken battery might make it actually a little tough. Oh no, okay, it's still working fine, but we are maxed out on our power usage just because we have that broken battery. It's still working out fine though. I think this is good. We're using those, oh, there's the lightning. Looks like it's actually followed us back to our base, but we're using those forward thrusters and our upward facing thrusters to give us the amount of lift that we need here. And let's just head on back to our little landing strip for the armadillo. You know what we haven't used in a long time is that right there, the Seagull. The Seagull was really just kind of like an early game ship that we kind of moved on from with more specialized ships. Okay, how are you looking? Just move back a little bit. There we go. So let's press number 9, number 8 to recharge, and number 6 to turn those off. And then this battery that's broken, we'll right click here, and then I guess maybe go here, grab the stuff for, and there we go. Battery is back. I'm gonna switch it to recharge to match what the others are on. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, we're good. Now let's go to the refinery, make sure that it's processing that iron, because iron is the most important thing for us to have. The gold's good, we need the gold, but the iron is important. Look at this, I love this. Our ores finally actually has stuff in it. So process that first. Then I'd like you to process gold. Yeah, there's only 74 gold in there. By the way, I have not gotten any more cobalt in so long, and it's still processing all that cobalt from that previous time that we got it. That is crazy. That's a lot of cobalt. Or, I mean, I guess that just shows how slow cobalt is to process. All right, with that, as we get the mist coming in here, oh, beautiful view of the moon as well with all that mist, and probably beautiful view of those other planets if I could see it. Yeah, wow, the mist really kind of removes the atmosphere, and you can just see everything. All those planets that we're gonna go and visit pretty soon. How many are there? We've got the moon, we've got the alien planet, like maybe a Titan over there. We've got, I don't even know what that is. Another moon, something. Maybe something, or maybe that's a star from the skybox. There's something over there. And then we saw at least 2 bodies over there. So we have a lot to explore starting on episode 35 when we take off with the manta ray. Next episode, we're going to be painting this, I think. We're probably going to be finishing up those weapons. We might even test it out by going to one of those dangerous encounters, or maybe trying to take out a ship with the railguns or something like that. We, of course, need to continue our mission of welding up the entirety of the base. So next episode, we'll continue that. The ice base is pretty much done. It's in a good state. I think I like it. And that's most of what we did in this episode, is just getting it from basically just an ice base to a proper ice base that has a refinery. It's got plenty of storage. It's got a landing pad, all that stuff. But anyway, if you guys like this episode, please go ahead and hit the like button. Put your comments and your suggestions down below in the comments section. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? There's a subscribe button that's free to click, and there's a notification bell next to it that you can also click if you want to receive notifications. But if not, don't worry. I definitely know how it is. I once did notifications for a channel, started getting emails, I think, every time they posted, and they posted twice a day. And I was like, oh, I don't know that's my thing. But if you're someone who likes notifications, maybe it is for you. But anyway, yeah, comments below, like and subscribe, all the things YouTubers say. If you'd like to become a YouTube member or a patron, there are links below in the description where you can get your name in the end credits. And you can even get a shout out at the end of the video for some of the tiers. And the people we're going to shout out at the end of this video are Colin Graves. Oh, I don't know what happened to the, where did our fog go? I think our fog just randomly disappeared. It's going to be Colin Graves. It's going to be WTC 2014. And it's going to be Silent Contender. Thank you very much for your support. And thanks everyone who's watching these for your support as well. It really does mean a lot. Stay tuned for future videos, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival.